Let's talk about hidden malice and betrayals in close relationships before it actually destroys you. The most dangerous betrayals doesn't start with a loud argument. It begins with a silent shift you barely noticed. Someone close to you is trading support for subtle sabotage. And if you don't recognize this mask now, the final blow will be devastating. It is time to reclaim your discernment. Your divine purpose is being quietly eroded by the very people you trust the most. Hidden malice is rarely allowed. It doesn't arrive with obvious hostility. It arrives smiling, agreeing, and sometimes even supporting. Until one day, you realize your confidence is gone. Your clarity is foggy. Your instinct feels muted. And you can't explain why. Hidden malice works like slow poison. It diminishes your worth long before the betrayal becomes visible. Today, we're going to be dismantling hidden malice because ignoring your intuition is far more dangerous than confronting the truth. This is Life Wisdom with Dr. T, a place where healing meets growth and becoming begins. We will begin by looking at the anatomy of the mask. Betrayal rarely begins with an open attack. It begins with subtle shifts, a tone that changes often, a compliment that feels slightly sharp, and support that sounds rehearsed. You start noticing some micro moments. They celebrated you, but with hesitations. They praised you, but mentioned your flaws publicly. They advised you, but highlighted your insecurities. This is called selective praise. Don't fall for it. Encouragement wrapped in subtle diminishment. What does that mean? When encouragement is wrapped in subtle diminishment, it sounds like this. I'm just being honest. I just want you to improve. I just want to help you. I'm saying this because I care. But the energy feels off. And here's something powerful. Exhaustion is often your first warning sign. When you leave certain interactions drained rather than uplifted, your subconscious mind has detected a threat your logic hasn't named yet. Trust that signal. Trust it. Don't ignore it. Then comes the subtle pivot to sabotage. Malice doesn't often start with destruction. It starts with omissions. For example, they forget to share critical information with you. They withhold to share opportunities with you. They fail to clarify details before high-stake moments. They do not let you know about important events in their extended families. They keep you isolated from major information. They do not even share information that they know you need to know. They will not do that. Calculated omission ensures that you stumble while they maintain plausible innocence. Then comes passive-aggressive humor. Jokes about your ambitions. Oh, why are you doing all these things? They will not take you anywhere. Do you think that school is everything? School is not always everything everybody needs. You don't have to be doing all this business that you are starting. What is it even worth it? They will make jokes about your ambitions, sarcasm about your confidence, and even public teasing disguised as affections. You would laugh alone. Sometimes you would even laugh alone. But your nervous system doesn't. There is a difference between healthy conflict and systematic erosion. Healthy conflict addresses behavior. Erosion questions your reality. If you constantly feel the need to defend your memory, your tone, or your perception, you may be experiencing subtle gaslighting. And in today's digital age, gaslighting is even quieter. It happens through screenshots, curated narratives, carefully framed messages. The story shifts slowly, and suddenly you are the unstable one. You are the illusioned one, the one that is going cuckoo. Before betrayal becomes public, isolation begins privately. Watch for the quiet smear campaigns around you. Pay attention. Comments made about you to others. Out of concern, they may say. Subtle doubt planted in your support circles. The recruitment of neutral parties, in quote, who begin questioning your behavior. They aren't evil. They are misinformed. Flying interventionists. People convinced they are helping while unknowingly reinforcing a distorted narrative. Meanwhile, your shared history is weaponized. Private vulnerabilities become public leverages. Moments you trusted them with become ammunitions used to bring you down. And by the time the fracture is visible, the groundwork was laid months ago, and your reputation is on the ground. What do you do at this moment? Reclaim your cognitive sovereignty. This is what I mean. Here is where your power returns. Once you realize that there has been a smear campaign against your reputation or your character based on lies told by people whom you thought you trusted, don't fight back. Step back emotionally. Observe instead of absorb, and ask the following question. Is this person consistent in character? Do their actions align with their words? Do I feel stronger or smaller after interacting with them? Implement the observer effect. View the relationship like data. Patterns reveal truth. Excuses conceal it. Then establish non-negotiable boundaries. Healthy people respect boundaries. Malicious ones escalate when challenged. Boundaries act like tripwires. They expose hidden hostility quickly. And stop over explaining your worth, especially over explaining to someone committed to misunderstanding you. Yes, some of these people are committed to misunderstanding you. Your values does not require a defense speech. You do not need to over-explain. They would only ridicule you. Their goal is not to understand you, because they've made it a promise to themselves to misunderstand you. So you have to protect your divine trajectory. The greatest danger of hidden malice is not heartbreak. It is derailment. When someone consistently diminishes you, you begin self-doubting. You hesitate. You shrink. You second guess. And that hesitation may cost your momentum. Shift your focus from revenge to preservation. Your mental space is more valuable than proving your innocence. Discernment is not paranoia. It is wisdom refined through experience. Develop a new filter. Prioritize your character, consistency over charisma. Intensity can be intoxicating, but consistency builds safety. It's time to exit. An exit is not failure. Leaving a toxic dynamic is not weakness. It is simply you coming into alignment with the person you were meant to be. It is simply you clearing space for new things to enter in your life. It is refusing to allow masked malice to dictate your trajectory. Reframe the exit. It is not an abandonment. It was or it is protection. It is not rejection. It is simply redirection. Sometimes betrayal is not the end of your story. It is simply the removal of interferences from your life before your next level. Because there is a next level. You were meant and created for greatness, and there is a next level. So my dear young people, my friends, my dear students, not everyone who claps for you wants you to win. Pay attention to this and take note of it. Not everyone who claps for you wants you to win. And those people may be very close to you, may even be the closest to you. Not everyone who supports you is aligned with your elevation. Discernment is sacred. Trust micro shifts in your lives. Trust exhaustion. Trust patterns. You are not too sensitive. You are perceptive. And perception is protection. Your divine purpose is too important to be eroded by covert hostility. Guard your energy. Guard your clarity. And when you recognize masked malice around you, walk away before it destroys what you're building. Because true power is not just in rising, it is in refusing to let hidden betrayal steal your future. I hope you enjoyed this reflection. If you did, please comment below and come back for more.